I'm so torn because I just want Itadori to have a break, but if Itadori has a break, we don't get awesome fight scenes like the one we get this week, so like, I don't know. I feel bad. I feel bad. Sorry, Itadori. But with that said, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another one of our weekly Jujutsu Kaisen discussion videos. Today we're going to be talking all about Episode 15, Kyoto Sister School in Exchange Event Group Battle 1. Barely got through that title. But before we get into the video proper, quick reminder if you haven't done so yet to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, set notifications to all, let all of AniTube know that you're here, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this week's episode. Okay, so I have a lot of like little notes that I want to hit this week. A lot of stuff that I really want to kind of zero in on. Well, not a lot. Like there's 4 things that I really want to talk about, but I want to, kind of gush about them, right? So yeah, another episode where I don't really have anything negative to say, which is slowly becoming the norm. And by slowly, I mean has been the norm since like episode 1. I just very rarely have anything like that. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like that. Like, nah, that so rarely happens with this show. So that's it. First thing I want to get into, Itadori versus Todo. Both parts, okay? I'm going to be talking about both parts. I'm not going to split it up amongst things. And then also the flashback I'm going to include into this as well. But yeah, Itadori versus Todo was everything I wanted it to be. Cause like at first, right? The first half is like, I love when Todo shows up and he's just like, come at me! Right? He just like does the like bring it on like to the whole squad. And so of course the squad just like immediately separates when Itadori's like quick thinking and like just grabs this man's head and just knees him right in the face. I'm thinking like, ooh, that looked like it hurt. Definitely broke a nose on that one, but no. Todo has a nose made out of steel apparently. So yeah, it had no effect. It didn't have it wasn't very effective, to quote Pokemon. And so of course Itadori's like, well, okay, this is gonna be hard. All right. Itadori's like, well, okay, I was hoping this might be easy, but I guess not. And yeah, you get into this fight. And by fight, I mean very one-sided battle. Like even when we start to get a little bit more of like a tete-a-tete, right? Like once we start kind of having Todo on the back foot a little bit, it's still kind of clear that Itadori's in a bad spot versus Todo, right? Like Todo, just I think it's the size and the swiftness, right? Like he's freakish big and freakish tall, freakish big and freakish strong, and abnormally fast for someone of that size. To quote, Bronn from Game of Thrones. But yeah, he's very big, right? And very strong, and it's all muscle. And Itadori, we know he's tough as nails, right? Itadori is like a Greek sculpture, you know what I mean? Like, he looks like a Greek god, but he's a lot smaller than Todo. Todo is probably closer to a Greek god, if we're being honest. And so Itadori, while we know he's physically fit, it's not quite to the same extent, right? So they sort of have this like back and forth where Itadori will do something, Todo sort of negates it and then hits him harder. And the first half of the fight ends with Itadori just being demolished by Todo, and it's not very pretty. It's not very pretty. That said, this does lead nicely into Itadori getting back on his feet, which prompts Todo to get all excited and ask him like, "All right, Itadori Yuji, I will ask you a question. What type of women do you like? Like, what type of woman do you like? Like, what do you like in a woman?" or whatever it is that he asks. I can't remember. But as soon as he asks him, like, here we go. And Itadori responds with basically what I thought he was going to respond with, Jennifer Lawrence, which is the second time that we've mentioned Jennifer Lawrence, and the first of 2 celebrity references. We actually get a reference to Sebastian Stan by the end of this episode. Good old Bucky was not expecting that. But yeah, he answers like, a tall woman with a nice ass, like Jennifer Lawrence, which is funny because the second he said tall woman with a nice ass, he didn't even have to say Jennifer Lawrence after that. I just knew that Todo was going to be like, because that's Todo's type too, right? So I'm like, oh, okay, nice. And I do have some thoughts on Itadori's answer and Fushiguro's response earlier, a few episodes back, and sort of my thoughts on the ambiguous bi energy of the show, but I'm gonna save that for later because a lot of you guys are sensitive and don't like talk of shipping and sexuality in the middle of your shonen series. So I will save it so you guys don't have to hear it until the end. But if you're like me and you want to hear that shit, now you gotta stay to the end of the video. But yeah, Itadori answers, yeah, tall woman with a big ass. And Todo's like, hell yeah. And I'm like, hell yeah. You know, I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, we all agree. We're all on the same page. Nice. And this prompts I said flashback, but it's not a flashback. It's just sort of this, like, dream vision that Todo has where it's, like, him and Itadori going to the same school and them being friends. And it's really adorable, right? Because I'm like, this is sweet, right? Like, I like this. This was the birth of the first, I guess, bro TP of the show for me. We've had OTPs, we've had ships this show, but we haven't specifically had a bro TP. I guess Gojo and Itadori are a bro TP. You know, like, I guess. But I see it more of, like, teacher-student, right? And if you don't know what bro TP means, it's just, like, your best bud, your bestest friend. Like, two people who you just think are good friends, and you want to see them be good friends together and go on adventures and shit. Like, it's like an OTP, but there's no romance. It's just, like, two dudes who, like, two girls, whatever, bro TP. Bro knows no gender in this case. It's just two individuals who are just super tight. And, like, are just, like, platonically, like, as tight as you can be platonically, you know what I mean? And that is the vibe here, right? Like, this whole scene, I was like, this is, like, the most adorable bro TP shit ever. I want to see, because I feel like because the whole, like, dream sequence thing was A, hilarious, B, I love that the tall idol's there. C, I love that Itadori tries to say he doesn't know who that is, and then he's just like, I don't know much about idols, and Todo's like, then why do you know that then how do you know she's an idol, bruh? And I was like, oh shit! He caught my boy! But yeah, like, it's pretty funny, not gonna lie. And it's, I don't know. The whole scene, I think, just works because, again, like, everything with that scene, like, the whole dream sequence works because I can see Itadori actually treating Todo like that. You know what I mean? Like, I can see, like, them actually becoming friends and being tight because they are pretty similar when you get down to it, right? Like, Todo, like, not super similar because, like, Todo is willing to possibly kill Itadori if he feels like it. You know what I mean? I don't think he will because I think that's his boy now and he doesn't want to do that. But I like that he's like, no. Like Itadori and Todo both don't really respect the whole, like murder aspect of the job, you know, like, they don't like it. And they're both big, dumb, brawny dudes who like tall women with big asses, you know? Like, I could see them being tight as the show goes on. So the dream sequence isn't totally, impossible, except for the fact that, like, the idol girl goes to their school in the dream sequence, and, like, Todo gets the chance to ask her out. Although she does reject him, which I could see happening in real life, too. I hope he ends up with the idol girl. I don't know how that would happen, but that's just a thing that I hope. Anyway, back to the second half of the fight. The second half of the fight goes a little bit better. It's basically, yeah, Itadori has Todo on the ropes at this point. And it's more of, again, it's a little bit more in Todo's favor than you'd think, even though Itadori's, like, kind of leading the charge here. Like, we see him, like, blocking punches and, like, landing jabs, but Todo still has this, like, big smile on his face, right? This big goofy smile. And he's thinking about how, like, Itadori's raw strength is so much greater than my own. And I'm like, what? Like, that was kind of a surprise. And he's like, even with his smaller stature, he's still hitting with tremendous strength. So, like, it's impressive. Like, his raw strength is so strong. And again, something's up with Itadori, because even before Sukuna, he was freakish strong. You know what I mean? Like, I still think there's something that we don't know. Like, and even, like, Gramps' exit and everything, like, I feel like there's something we don't know about Itadori. I don't super know. But even Todo's like, he is really strong. Like, he has so much potential. But the delayed reaction between the cursed energy, that's not where it's supposed to be. His Divergent Fist, which, first of all, I disagree. I like Divergent Fist. That's just me. I like that, like, he hits you with his raw strength first, and then you get, like a reflective blast of cursed energy. I think that's way cooler because you get 2 hits. You know what I mean? But I do see where Todo's coming from, where he's like, you could hit 1 time, but twice as hard. You know what I mean? Instead of 1 hit, then 2 hits, right? Like, you could hit once and really hard. I don't know. I like Divergent Fist, so I'm kind of with Itadori when he's like, hell no, screw you. Divergent Fist is cool, right? I was kind of in the same boat, but I like that Todo's like, you're my best friend. And he's like, don't you care as my best friend? And Itadori's like, no. But I think he was talking about, like, he wasn't talking about, I don't want to get stronger. He was just talking about, like, I don't really, because he says, I don't care about that. And he's clearly talking about being Todo's friend, because he's like, I don't even know you, and your friends are trying to kill me. So, like, what are you talking about? But when he's like, so you don't want to get stronger, and all I heard is, like, one punch, because I just remembered that, like, don't you want to get stronger? Or I think you can get stronger, or whatever the line is, and I'm like, 1 punch! But yeah, I like that Itadori is, like, being pushed by Todo, right? In the best way, right? He's like, Todo, by fighting Todo, he is actually learning to, like, be a better fighter. And Todo's kind of pushing him in that direction because he wants that rivalry, right? He wants that for his bestest buddy. I'm sensing, like, Goku Vegeta vibes here. You know what I mean? At Team 4-star Goku Vegeta vibes, not canon Goku Vegeta vibes. Oh my god, I climbed Mount Everest! So now seems like a great time to tell you to hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Jeez, it's cold up here. But yeah, if you can't tell, my favorite part of the episode was Itadori and Todo. I probably made it the thumbnail and everything. A lot of other stuff happens, but that's my favorite. That was absolutely my favorite. I friggin' loved that. But there is some stuff. There's some other stuff I want to talk about. I do want to talk about Fushiguro and the squad basically jumping the Kyoto squad. Like, Fushiguro does the big owl thing, and it takes out Witch Girl. And I feel bad for Witch Girl, because, like, of the Kyoto students, right, the ones I like are Todo, the Witch Girl, whose name is escaping me. I'm sure somebody in the comments will let me know. So, yeah, Todo, the Witch Girl, I like a lot, and Miwa I love. But yeah, those are like the 3. The other ones, the robot guy is cool, but like, yeah, Mai sucks. I don't really like her. Maki clearly like far superior. Mai's kind of annoying. I don't really like Mai. And the one kid nah, he's a tool. He's got like the longer hair. He seems like he's gonna get cool, but right now I'm like, nah, you're kind of a douche. You know what I mean? He's kind of a doucher right now. I do like that Panda tries to explain like why they would try to kill Yuji, because like they know Yuji's a good dude, right? But the other squad doesn't, right? So like them saying like, we know Itadori's good, they don't, so that's why they just see him as a vessel for Sukuna, so like of course they're gonna try to kill him. It'd be like exercising a curse for them, you know? Panda, by the way, is great. Panda this week was fantastic. Him and Kugisaki like teasing the Witch Girl was hilarious. But to me, the biggest, coolest thing was, and I've probably had the screenshot up the whole time, was Fushiguro. I friggin' love Fushiguro so much, man. Like, Fushiguro is absolutely great. He's real. I have like a list of my top 300 characters on my Annie list, you know, link in the description. But I really think Fushiguro is gonna climb high on the list of my top 300 characters. And that's 300 characters of all time, and that's sorted, by the way. It's not like unsorted, like it's sorted. And I do think he's gonna be high up on the list by the end. And as if they couldn't make this man any more amazing to me, they gave him tonfas. I love tonfas. I don't know if I've ever explained that. I don't know why. Tonfas are just cool weapons, and so whenever I see them, I'm like, they gave this man tonfas! Like, when he's like, like it even says, he's like, are you trying to kill Itadori? And they're like, and what if we are? He's just like, nah, Itadori's not gonna go down that easy. Like, and just the faith in his boy, you know what I mean? Like, I love Fushiguro this week. I love that he calls them out. I love that Maki's like, all right, it's possible. We're gonna go ahead and jump them. Let's just end this, right? And they send Togi, the kid who can't talk. I love that kid. Again, it's just names. You guys know me. It's very difficult. This is why I usually make up nicknames. I will accept nicknames for Togi or Toga. in the comments. But yeah, like when he takes off, like you could tell he didn't want to go at first, but but Panda explains like, no, you gotta go, because if you can exercise the curse like right away, we can solve this. The assassination is off because they can't get to him. So if you can get it so if you can stop the curse before we can even get to them, everybody wins anyway. So it doesn't matter. We win either way. So you have to go, right? So it's like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, everything about that is great. Everything about like just friggin' Fushiguro just calling out the one main dude on Kyoto's team. It was awesome. I loved it. That said, I do want to take a moment to talk about the Queen, even though I don't know how long I'm gonna go on about this. But I did want to like specifically make mention of the fact that Miwa is great. I've liked Miwa since she was introduced as sort of like a Gojo fangirl. You know what I mean? And there's something about the character I just really enjoy. I think the design is great. I love the blue hair. I love the samurai sword and the whole like the tux getup. I think she looks great. I think her personality is great. Everything about Miwa I really like, and I think this week that she really shone for me because she does not want to kill Itadori. Like it's very obvious that she doesn't want to do that. Like she even says that she's pulling punches and like she's not trying to kill him in the way that the other students clearly are, except for Todo. And again, Witch Girl, who also doesn't really seem interested in killing Itadori that much. She just kind of wants to win. It's more so Mai, who's just a tool, and I really don't see me ever really liking Mai. And then the long-haired dude who, like, again, I feel like he might end up becoming, like, a fave of mine. It's just he's right now kind of a douche. And then the robot guy, who seems cool. He's like a cool robot man, but like I don't know anything about him yet. But of all of them, even including Todo, Miwa seems like the one who's the most against it. Like, because Todo did say like, I'll kill him. It depends on what Itadori is gonna do as my bestest buddy. And then the Witch Girl just sort of seems indifferent, whereas Miwa like actively doesn't want to do that because I think she knows that like it's not cool. You know what I mean? Like she's like, no, I don't really want to do that. Feels wrong, you know. And I also love, and this is a trope that I really like about Uraraka in My Hero, and I've seen people say that this is why they don't like Uraraka, and to me that's like dumb. You know what I mean? Like it's just a dumb reason not to like a character, and I assume like if those people dislike Miwa for the same reason, I will also say they're dumb, and if they don't and they like her for this reason, then I'm gonna say you're a hypocrite. But that's the whole broke queen aspect. The fact that she's like, I want money. Because I got 2 brothers and I could use the money, right? And I'm like, yes, right? Like just the fact that it's like, yes, she wants money. Money makes the world go round, and she has people she wants to spend the money on. That's awesome. And that's a very real reason for doing something. And I like when a show is just like, no, yeah, like monetary, the pursuit of money is not inherently evil. You know what I mean? And I like that they make Miwa like interested in money. And I also love that friggin' Maki's just like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like with my sister, you seem really nice. Like, does she bother you? And Miwa's like kind of like dodges the question, like, I mean, sure, right? Like whatever, because it's like very clear that nobody on the squad likes Mai. But I just, yeah, I can't. Oh my god, this fight's gonna be so good because it didn't even connect that Maki and Miwa are gonna fight. And that's gonna be such a good fight. Like, because Maki's already a badass, and so for Miwa to like go be able to stand toe to toe with her, like that has me very intrigued. Either it's gonna be a stomp, like for Maki, like Maki's either gonna stomp Miwa, or Miwa's gonna like put up a good fight. Either way, I'm in, and I'm hyped because I feel like that could be cool. Especially since everybody's been telling me how great this arc is, so I expect a lot of good fights. I also don't think I have a feeling like this, because this is only day 1 of a 2-day exchange event, right? So I assume day 2 is going to be even more fights. So I think that day 1 is just going to be like some skirmishes against people. But I am excited to see Miwa versus Maki next week. I think that's going to be cool. And the last thing that I said I would save to the end of the video is the bi energy that exudes from this show. And I love it for that. Now, again, you guys know me. Like, I'm not like here to tell you that your ships are wrong or anything like that, and I'm not here to push ships, right? Like, I'm one of those dudes who I have my ships and I ship a lot of things. I am a very shippy dude, but I also don't care if you tell me like I don't like shipping. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, if you're cool with me shipping, I'm cool with you not shipping. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with you not liking it. As long as you're cool with me liking it, you know what I mean? Like, it don't bug me none. And I don't, like, and if you have different ships to me, you know, I'm not gonna start a shipping war with you. I'm very chill. Like, because at the end of the day, shipping is just, like, it's supposed to be fun. And there's other people who take it wildly out of control. You know, like, people who start shipping wars, it just, that crap is sad. Like, yes, I have a video that's called, like, Rinharu greater than Makuharu. But even in that video, I say, like, I don't care if you ship Makuharu, you know what I mean? Like, from free. So it's like, I don't care if you have a ship that goes against my ship. Like, it doesn't, whatever. It's just, it's, half of the time it's not real, right? Like, half of the time, more than half of the time, ships aren't supposed to be real. It's not characters who you think, like, the show has to have these characters end up together, otherwise it's all wrong, you know what I mean? It's nothing to do with that. Shipping is just characters you think would make a good couple. Like, that's all it is. It doesn't have to be endgame. In fact, 9 times out of 10, I kind of prefer it not to be canon, because fanon's 9 times out of 10 better anyway. Because you get to make up whatever you want, right? So for me, the way that I see it, like my head canon, like what I perceive as canon, even though it's probably not, but my head canon is Fushiguro is bi, right? Because the way that he says it in the manga and the way it was said in the anime until it was translated weirdly, because other people who speak Japanese are like, that's not what he said, was that he didn't give a gender when Todo asked what woman he likes, and he just said, I hope that person is blah, blah, blah. And I don't remember word for word what Fushiguro said, but it sort of implied, like, a few people, including Itadori. And I like the idea that Fushiguro is, like, sort of into Itadori, and not, like, a sexual sense. I do actually get some ace vibes from Fushiguro, if I'm being, like, super honest. So he could just be like, he could be like me, right? Biromantic, asexual. And that is the vibe I get from Fushiguro. But again, if you see him as like a straight dude, that's fine too. Doesn't matter. I don't like, cause it doesn't affect his character. You know what I mean? Like if it doesn't affect the character, then think whatever you want. And I don't really think it affects his character either way. So whatever. But I'm just sharing my point of view on the whole thing. But with Itadori, I do think Itadori is just like a straight dude, like especially after this week, because I was like, maybe Itadori's bi. No, I think Itadori's a straight dude, but it doesn't mean that Fushiguro's not like bi. I would like to ship Itadori and Fushiguro, but I think it's sort of like a one-sided thing. And I'm curious, like if anything, that makes it even better, because the angst, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I also kind of ship like Maki and Kugisaki as well, right? Because they both don't give a gender at the end of this. Like when asked what your type is, they don't really give a gender. They're just like sort of listing people. Although Kugisaki does also sort of imply Itadori as well. Everybody's got the hots for Itadori, including my comment section. But yeah, it's I don't know. Interesting. You know what? Question for the comments. Who's your favorite ship so far? If I had to pick, I'd say Gojo and me. Let me know in the comments. But with that said, everybody, that is going to wrap up today's video here, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to boop that up, snooch, share if you care, leave a comment down below, and of course, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, set notifications to all, and let all of AniTube know that you're here. And of course, before we go, as always, I want to give a big thank you to the good folks in the T Squadron. Look at these beautiful people. Look at all these beautiful names, and hey, if you'd like to join these beautiful people, there are 2 ways to do so. The first is by hitting that join button right beside the sub button to get a badge next to your name, some emotes to spam in the comments, and of course, your name scrolling past the screen here, or you can go ahead and check out that Patreon link in the description. Either way, it is super appreciated. So once again, a big thank you to the good folks in the T Squadron, and that is it from me, everybody. So, until next time, you stay classy, AniTube. You wash your dang hands, and seriously, let me know any ships you have in the comments. I don't actually have that many ships now that I think about it. It's interesting. Let me know your ships in the comments. Give me things to ship for the show. Okay, bye.